Hello, I'm sorry about that. It was not my fur kids, it was some of my neighbors' fur kids. Uh,
Hello, I'm
oh,
sorry about
goodness
that. It was
gracious. Goodness gracious. I'm sorry, I forgot to turn off the sound on the other one. Yeah, no, it was some of my neighbors' first kids. One dog chased another neighbor's cat, and they were in my yard in my tree, and they couldn't get it out down. So anyway, it's been solved. Hi, Carol, Marie-Hélène, Soile, bonjour. Hi, Colleen. Donc, j'ai dit, excusez-moi, c'était pas mes enfants poilus, mais mes voisins enfants poilus. Un chien a chassé un chat qui a fini dans un de mes arbres et on ne pouvait pas le faire descendre. En tout cas, c'est fini. Hi, Dorothy. Okay, so we are going to make some pretty fancy earrings. And yes, you will be getting a very nice extruder cane. Today I'm almost done with the tutorial. I'm just trying to make it very easily understandable. Hi, Cindy. Um, and this is the cane. If and I will try to make it as easy to understand as possible. Donc, plus tard aujourd'hui, après le live, vous allez avoir un tuto sur comment faire une canne avec le extruder dans le style des tapis Navajo. Et je vais essayer de l'expliquer d'une façon que vous pouvez faire votre choix de couleur plus tard sans avoir besoin de regarder les tutos. Also, please, somebody an hour from now, not an hour, 45 minutes from now, remind me to take my pain pill so I don't start crying and we can keep going on. So what I said is just have some scrap clay, and then we will need some mica powders or any kind of powders, acrylics, because remember what I was telling you a while ago. Theoretically, if you have scrap clay and powders or acrylic paints, you don't really need colors. You can create a lot just using scrap clay. Donc, comme j'ai dit il y a quelque temps, si vous avez de la pâte Burke, vous n'avez pas réellement besoin de couleur. Si vous avez des poudres, pas nécessairement mica, mais aussi des poudres de pastel et ou des peintures acryliques. Hi, Teresa. So let's first make some bases that while I'm showing you other things, I will get them to bake and we will create something else, okay? Just to be on the better side, let me just real quick mix this because I was supposed to have it mixed, but with so many events in the neighborhood, I didn't have the time. Sorry for the noise. Almost there. Okay, that's plenty enough mixed. Okay. Yeah, I do, and it's so cool because now I don't have to be in pain cranking the machine. It goes. That's why I was able to do so much lately, and I'm really catching up on stuff because there was so much stuff that I had not put on the back burner, but it required a lot of mixing, and because of that I had to work for an hour a day on mixing stuff and then put things to rest. Let me turn this off. I think that we might be better with daylight. Okay, that's better, isn't it? Okay. Oh yes, I do love that motor. Okay, so first let's make some bases, and we can do whatever textures we want. We can use a texture plate if we want, and we can actually create our own texture if we want. The way that I like to do this kind of earrings is to actually use two different textures. Donc, je vais créer des petites feuilles que je vais mettre à cuire et ensuite elles vont cuire pendant que je vous explique d'autres choses. Sur ce point, vous pouvez faire n'importe quelle texture, mais moi, j'aime utiliser deux tampons en même temps. Let me choose my textures. And you know that in my public free tutorials, most of the time, if I don't have to do something super duper, I like to use just the cheaper textures, and those would be essentially the Makins ones. So let me use, I'm gonna get the cobblestone, and let me see which else. I even forgot what this one is. I forgot what this one is. I'll have to look. I'll post after the live. So I'm going to place, and I'm not going to go through the pasta machine with them. I'm going to just place one on the bottom, and careful with the makings when you choose the innie and the outie. Oh, I am glad that you're better, Carrie. Donc, vous savez que pour mes tutos gratis, je n'aime pas utiliser des tampons qui sont très, très chers et tout ça. Donc, je vais utiliser les makings. Un d'eux est le cobblestone. Le deuxième, j'ai oublié qu'est-ce que c'est, mais je vais rechercher et poster dans le descriptif après que le live est fini. So, I thought I did this on the thickest setting, but I did not. And I'm not going to start the big motor again. I'll just use the hand crank just for this. Okay, so I'm on the thickest setting, and I'm going to put one on the bottom and then one on the top. Actually, I might not use the cobblestone because you want textures that are not very deep for this. Oh, let me see. Yeah, I'm very glad that I got most of making textures. I'm only missing one set, and that is the tires one, because I don't think I'll need tires anytime soon. Okay, I'm gonna use the fur curly beard. I think that the one on the bottom is the stained glass, frosty glass, but I'm not sure. So, one on the bottom, one on the top. And you can do it two ways, and you want the outie, so the innie to be towards the clay. Donc, vous voulez les reliefs être de l'autre côté du tampon, pas la côté qui touche le patchwork. Et vous pouvez faire ça de deux façons, seulement par tapotant avec vos doigts ou en utilisant le roller. And you can do this either by using your fingers, but as you know, my fingers are not very strong, so I am going to actually use the roller. And I wouldn't go through the machine with it to make it thinner because it's going to be thin enough as it is, because of the fact that it's going to go through two. Just press real hard so you'd get both textures on the clay. And very, very gently get it out. Yeah, maybe I should have used some release, but I'm sure it's going to be fine if I'm very careful and gentle. Okay. So I got this with two sides that are textured. Yes, they are the ones you can run through the machine. By my knowledge, there are three kinds that you can run through the machine: the Makins, the Ellen Braille, and then the red rubber ones that are made by Jennifer. Starts with an O. Anyway, you can find them on Polyclay Play. I'll show you which ones. These ones. You can also run through the machine. Donc, Kerry a demandé si ceux-ci sont des tampons qui peuvent être passés dans la machine à pâte et j'ai dit que oui. Et à ce que je sais, il y a trois marques de tampons que vous pouvez passer dans la machine et ça, c'est le Makins, ensuite les Ellen Braille et le caoutchouc rouge comme ce que je vous ai montré. And now let us make a little template so we can have both our earrings the same. And of course, I cannot find my scissors as usual. They are somewhere. Just a second. Okay, I'm going to go for a wacky rounded triangle, and you can do this with regular paper. You don't have to use a specially. I just have this piece of laminated that I'm going to use. So I'm going to do one side perfectly straight. And then here, yes, I'm going to do big earrings. Here I'm going to do a little bit of a rounding like this. And no, I'm not going to make them this big. I'm going to make them like this. So this looks like a pretty, and I am very glad to inform you that one of my ladies has ordered for me a makings mat, so soon we won't have the problem of having the white background interfering with the white clay or whatever I show white. So I'm going to use this to cut my shapes. Of course, I need to take off my glasses. And then I'll turn it the other way. So they will be symmetrical. Now, don't forget that you can make them completely asymmetrical, and I will actually make one that is shorter. So there will be two pairs. So they can be combined with the newest trend. They will have elements that are common between the two, but you can combine them so you can have either a pair of shorter earrings or wear one earring short, one earring long. Now, I'm not going to put this in the, I'm going to keep this for now, and you'll see why in a second. Now, I'm going to take these. Donc, je vais faire deux paires de boucles d'oreilles parce que, comme je vous ai expliqué dans mon live pour le mois, la mode cette année est de porter une boucle d'oreille longue et une boucle d'oreille courte qui ont des éléments en commun, mais un est très long et une est très longue et une est très courte. Now I'm going, je vais faire deux paires que vous pouvez porter les courtes comme une paire, les longues comme une paire, ou vous pouvez les combiner pour être à la mode. Cécile n'est pas ici, huh? Oh yeah, Cécile said that she was going to be gone for the weekend. I forgot. Okay, now let's grab some mica powders. Okay, let's vote. Tell me some color combinations that you'd like. Allons voter. Vous me dites une combinaison de 2 couleurs ou 3 couleurs ou 4 couleurs. Ou vous voulez que je fasse un dégradé. Or if you want, I can make a gradient of some sorts. Bonsoir, Sandra. Okay, let's do that. So a copper and green and gold, blue and green. Green and gold, blue and green, purple and gold. And I'm trying to figure out. So if we go, let's do some kind of peacockish thing. So okay, let's first do the iridescence. Then, of course, you don't have to try and do it exactly this way. We are just playing. Hi, Deborah. So I'm going to do a peacockish thing. So I'm going to start with violet. Donc, je vais faire quelque chose comme un pan. Et je vais commencer avec le violet. And I'll do the same for both sides. So I'm first putting in the lines of color. Then we go for the true blue. So this is the Acrylics reflex violet. And this is the true blue. So I'm going to put another line here. And then I'm going to use the duo blue green. And put another line of color. Then the spring green. I think that this is what I got, yes. And another line of color of the spring green. And then the duo green yellow. Hi BD. Donc j'espère que vous comprenez les couleurs comme je l'ai dit. And then I'm going to finish with maybe not the blue russet. Let me grab another. The pumpkin orange. Is it too? No, that would be too orange. Let me get a yellow. Okay, the brilliant yellow. And this you can do with eyeshadows without a problem. Goodness gracious, my brilliant yellow is super full. And I'm not closing them because I'm going to do the other side the same. Okay, and now what I do, I cleaned my paintbrush and I'm going to start with the lightest colors. I'm just going to go in between two of them. And if I see that I'm kind of losing it, I think that this yellow is not that terrific. Let me get a little bit more here. Okay, and just mix them. So you go between two colors and you mix. Then gently clean your brush. Then go between the two next colors and you mix. And if you see that you don't have enough color, you can actually add a little bit on that specific line. And then mix again. Yeah, I hadn't used enough of the duo. Get a little bit more of the spring green here. And you always clean a little bit. You notice that I clean it in my palm. Clean a little bit your brush before moving on to the next color mix. Color gradient if you want. Okay, here I think I need a little bit more violet, both violet and true blue, because I don't seem to have enough between the colors. Then just go gently and remove the excesses. It's okay at this point to not clean your brush anymore because it's been and another thing, go on the edge too. All right, now let's turn them around gently and do the other side. And I'm going to place them here so they won't touch that other. Merci Brigitte. C'est si bien d'avoir quelqu'un qui m'aide à traduire. So I'll do the exact same thing on this other side. So going first with violet. And the idea is not to use exactly these colors like I'm using them, but to get the gist of combining the two styles of the two pairs of earrings so you can create more pieces. Okay, and again, I'm going from the bottom up, from the lightest color to the darkest color to obtain a nice gradient. Hi, Suzanne. Oh, that's nice. Welcome. I hope to see you for the future lives too. And again, let's gently brush it off. And I already did the sides, so I don't have to worry about that. And now, I'm actually going to close this because I will try and use what's on the paper for the next thing. So this is the green. I'm always so careful with this because I've been known to topple stuff. It does, huh? And the purple. Now, the first thing will be to gently take these. Don't drop them. I drop them because my hands are messed up. And place them on the baking tile. Okay, so I place them on the baking tile. Let me show you. I made a boo-boo here with violet. Let me grab some more gold. Okay, so this is how they look like. Now let's make the other part for the short ones. And for the short ones, what I will do, I will take the smallest round cutter of the making set. If I can find it. And I am going to cut two round pieces from the same thing here. And not only that, but I am going to put a little bit of peacock on them as well. But as I said, I'm going to try and use just the colors that are already here on the paper. If I need, I will, of course, add some more, but I might not. And because they are much smaller, I can kind of shorten up the whole peacock thing. What I might have to add is the yellow. This yellow is not very strong, is it? It's the first time I've used it on anything, and I'm not very impressed. Stay there. And some purple. Okay. And see how these ones look almost like they are anodized metal. And again, don't forget the sides, because you want the sides to have some, to be a little bit mica-ish too. It happens to me sometimes too. It's just YouTube. It seems to do that on Saturdays and Sundays. Probably it's very busy. And it's hi, Jules. So it's just YouTube. Sometimes YouTube's over the weekend can be a pain, believe me. Okay, just a minute. Let me clean my hands. So this can go in the trash. So we have this, and I'm going to put them in the oven. But remember, because I want them to be perfectly straight, I am going to actually, number one, I have a little lip here, because these won't be able to sand them without removing the mica, and we don't want that. And if you, when you want to keep your pieces straight without warping, you always sandwich them. So I have a tile, then printing paper, the pieces, printing paper, and another tile. Donc, j'ai dit que ce que je dis avant, c'est que si vous voulez votre pièce de rester droite sans courber, vous les cuissez entre deux pièces de céramique. Donc, vous avez la pièce de céramique, ensuite du papier, votre pièce à cuire, encore du papier et encore une pièce de céramique. C'est comme ça que vous le faire cuire. Donc, je vais aller le mettre dans le four. I'll be right back. In just a second, I'm looking for one of my handmade stamps. I'm sorry, I'm looking for something so I can show you the examples on how to make something. Okay, I will show you now how to make some homemade stamps that will make your clay look exactly like metal. Donc, je vais vous montrer maintenant comment faire des tampons qui vont faire votre pâte avoir la semblance de métal 100%. So, let me show you first some examples. And I'm going to try and make the camera focus. Come on. And this is the only thing that irritates me about Hangouts, is that it doesn't let me get into my camera settings to oblige it to focus. Come on, stupid camera. There you go. Okay, can you see how metallic it looks? I'll show you other examples. And some of these earrings Come on. See this part? You can make them look exactly like metal, and I'll show you on a silverish too. They are the easiest thing in the world to make, honestly. Oh, come on. Okay, so here's another German silver style. Yeah, I know, and that's why I said I'm going to show you. Donc, vous voyez que ça a entièrement l'aspect de métal. C'est comme la pâte qui est avec de la poudre de métal. So this is with the silver thing. Let me try and grab some more out of this bag so I can show you. See, again, this is silver. But you can make it look exactly like this. Donc, je vais vous montrer comment faire un tampon comme ça qui va faire l'aspect de métal réel, pas faux. Alors, sur ce set, on this set, I'll show you because I cannot find one of them, but see, this is this is a set for a necklace. And this is the thing that I used for it. I am so sorry, Suzanne. Yeah, Fimo is not, I mean, Fimo is good for canes, but I'm not sure about the translucent. It's supposed to be good. See, this is another thing for metal, but now let me show you how you can make it. And it's so simple, it's almost unbelievable how simple it is. So all you need first is, of course, some scrap clay. Let me grab some scrap clay. I'm not sure if I still have any here, which I don't, but I have a whole bunch. Just a second. My doodlers. My doodlers have disappeared. Anyway, okay, I'm just going to use the Kemper one. Oh, the doodlers are here. So what you need is just your regular round things and the needle tool and maybe an itty bitty stylus, ball stylus thing, and of course your blade. So what you do, you just grab a piece of scrap clay and I like to double it so I can give it. And another thing, don't do, I know that I prefer to make the textures on bake and bend, but bake and bend doesn't take very fine detail that good. So I suggest you use polymer clay. Yes, I made that stamp. It's very easy to make. We are talking about this one. It's the simplest thing in the world. Okay, so you run your polymer clay on the thickest setting. And then you double it. And make sure, of course, that you don't trap any air. And get over it with the roller a couple times just to be on the safe side. And I'm going to put it on the acrylic so I can lift it and show you how it looks like. Now, if you want to make one that is just a general all-purpose stamp, you go however you want. If you want to make one like I made this one, for example, to be for a focal cabochon. So I could put a focal cabochon here, and then it would have the rays coming out. See, like in these pieces, see how the cabochon is in the middle, and then the rays are coming out from this. And if you notice, this one is made with cutters, with the round cutters, with one of the little doodles, and with a comb. And let me actually grab the comb. When it comes to combs, now you will need one that has a straight line. Oh, okay, hold on just a second. Let me go grab my finger. Okay. So, as I said, if you want to have one prepared for any kind of central piece, yes, you are. Thank you. Bonsoir, Tipunet. So if you want to have it for some kind of cabochon central piece, you start from a central. But if you don't, and I'll show you how to do it without a central cabochon piece. Number one, what you need to make sure is that your top is perfectly nice and smooth and even. Okay. And then you start practically cutting shapes into it. Exactly like you would do for a mokumegane. For distorting a mokumegane. And you don't have, you can go however you want and use your imagination. Just make sure that you don't go all the way through, because that would not be a good thing. Just cut at the very top layer. And you can make all kinds of cuts. Don't use the wavy blade because that will give it a non-metallic look. But you can use the more And it's a good idea to, how can I say, to use, I'll show you, to use like not necessarily concentric lines, but lines that would be one after the other. Like, see, I'm going to use this, and I'm not going to press circle after circle. I'm going to use it only one side. See? Something like this. And you can do this also with the teardrop as well, both with the round side and with the pointy side. See, like this. And then you take your blade, and always with the non cutting edge, just make a few. They don't even have to be in any kind of pattern. Just make some cuts randomly. And once this is done, because probably by the time I'm done with this, those will be baked. And I'll put this in the oven to show you how it looks like at the end of the live. Okay, and then I'm going to add some tinier cuts. So this is how it looks like now. Don't make it super busy. Okay, don't make it, and don't ever make concentric circles. That's not going to look good. You can put them on the sides if you want, but not concentric. And then let's use the, and see, with the comb you have two sides, one that's closer, the tines are closer and finer, and the other one where this. So this would be a metal-like stamp. It will make your clay look like metal. And I have a few areas here that need a little bit more. Let me actually use the Kempers. To give it more dimension, I'm going to use the flower, the bigger flower, and I'm going to use just one side. Oh, I told you with the parallel cuts. And one fuller with some parallel cuts. Because depending on how big your piece is, you might need a little bit more texture. And this should be okay. This should be good. Yes, because that's what the thing I said. I cannot find my my other one. These ones are, I made them for cabochons. So they are made special for cabochons. The ones that I've shown you on the earrings are made with, I have two stamps made like that, and they are made with those specific stamps. See how it's, everything is, oh, come on, focus already. See how everything is random? That's exactly like that. See, on this one, I actually got more than just two. But you can create whatever patterns you like. It's scrap clay. It will not be a disaster if you don't like the first one, you know. And just try it, and you will love it. I can assure you that you will love it. Okay, let me put these back and check on the oven. It's almost done. Now, to start preparing for the, let me get this one off the acrylic tile, and it will go for baking. Now, to prepare for the other part of the earrings, okay, because I thought I didn't use all the other one. Did I use all the other scrap plate? Oh, no, duh, it's right here. Now, for the next part of the earrings, we are going to use, okay, the oven didn't, to use this, and we'll see, probably copper, to create the illusion of metal. I'm going to grab those and put this up back. Okay, these are 8-pinch, still warm. Well, yeah, absolutely. When you make your own stamps, you are sure that they will be unique. And as you can see, it's not a biggie. And there's a little bit over left on this one. Going to place them directly on the glass tile because they will cool off faster. So they came up very pretty, didn't they? Even the tiny ones. Come on, stupid camera, focus. See how they have a little look of like anodized metal. It's okay with this because we are going to cover it. Now, for the next part, because now I have two elements. These two will be the elements for the small earrings. These two will be the elements for the large earrings, for the long earrings. And I have to do something to connect them, for them to have something in common. Donc, cette pièce sont pour les boucles d'oreilles longues et cette pièce sont pour les boucles d'oreilles courtes. Donc, je dois faire quelque chose pour qu'elles ont plus en commun que seulement les couleurs et la texture. So actually they go like this with the same texture on the same side. So I am going to use this type of stamp to create the illusion of metal. So I will make metal looking like circles that will go on the triangles like this. And of course, if you just want to do the long ones, you can just make something like this. But I will do metal looking like circles of the same size as those that will go on the sides of these earrings. And that will be the part that probably won't get fully baked for today, because I don't know how much longer I'll be able to be up. But I need to show you how to make those, because there's a little catch when putting those together. And I will show you in a second what's the catch. Okay, on the polymer clay ones, you always need to use release. Donc, sur les tampons en pâte polymère, vous devez toujours utiliser un agent de pas coller, je sais pas comment on appelle ça en français. And always put your release agent on the clay, not on the stamp or texture. Et toujours mettez l'agent sur la pâte, pas sur le tampon. Jamais sur le tampon. And if it is a little bit too much, you can gently dab it. And as usual, I'm going to put this on top and then use a piece of, if I find a piece of wax paper on top to get the imprint. Oops. Okay, and this is how the imprint looks like. And I am going to get 4 circles because I need 2 on each side. So I'm going to just randomly cut them. And then I will need 1 more circle, and I need to get it perfectly straight. Because remember, all of them are on the same, all pieces are on the same thickness. And this is something you have to be very careful about. Donc, quelque chose qui est très important, c'est d'avoir toute votre pièce sur la même épaisseur. Ici, j'ai utilisé la plus grosse épaisseur sur la machine. Donc, on va faire 2 cercles pour chaque boucle d'oreille, et ensuite, parce qu'on a besoin d'une en chaque côte, et encore un cercle qu'on va couper en moitié. Because see what happens if I'm going to try to put these circles, one on one side and one on the other, there will be space between them when they are off the base piece. So the way that you want to work it is like this. Of course, you will need a little bit of bacon bond. Put bacon bond through the pasta machine? How can you put bacon bond through the pasta machine? Why? I don't understand, Carrie. I'm sorry. How can you put a liquid through the pasta machine? Oh, bake and bend. Yeah, well, duh. Yeah, I put it all the time through the pasta machine. That's how I prepare the textures. I'm sorry. I read bake and bond. Remember, I cannot see well. Now, the main thing here will be to be careful and align the circles exactly the same on both earrings. So, number one, try to be equal. So first place your half on the circle. And make sure that it's well. This is where you need to be careful on the edge to be well even. And then you place it like this. And then you place the other one. And the same on this one. Be very careful on the edge. So you want this half circle to be perfectly aligned on the edge. And then, as I said, very careful where you place it here. Be at the exact same height. It helps also when you bake it if you put a little bit of something under this part, because it holds it better. Now here's where you have to be very, very careful on this. It's very important to have everything perfectly aligned. And remember what we always do to get stuff perfectly blended and smooth: alcohol. It's going to dissolve some of this. And just let it rest a little bit for all that alcohol to evaporate. And then do your second one. And again, this is the most important thing, for your little circles to be perfectly aligned on the edge. And then use alcohol. Now, as I said, let it rest a little bit so it would No. Yeah, Deborah is right. You cannot put the bacon band texture through the pasta machine. You have to do it by hand only. I thought that you were talking about if you can actually put bacon bend like a clay through the pasta machine by itself raw. But no, I would not use the finished texture through the pasta machine. It would break your pasta machine. Let me put it this way. If you want a really good texture, okay, you are not going to make it exceptionally thin. Let me grab a few of my textures. It will be at least the thickest setting on your pasta machine, right? Now, what happens with the textures that you can get through the pasta machine, they are either very thin, like a Makin's, or they are made out of rubber, like the Helen Braille or that red rubber ones. So they would squish. Bacon bend does not squish. So if you're adding up the thickness of the bacon bend plus the thickness of your clay, number one, you'll have this clay going so thin that you won't be able to use it. And number two, you're going to break your pasta machine. So yeah, no, don't ever put the finished bacon bend texture through the pasta machine. Always use it just as is. The only good part, and that's what I love about it, is that you can, once you do the texture, you can actually move it and it makes it much easier to handle. And not only that, but you can take imprints from things that are not straight. And I'll show you a couple examples. Like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make my camera focus on this one. This one is a leather texture that I actually got from a purse, from a soft purse, but it's actual leather. And this one, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to try and make the camera focus again. It's got some flowery stuff. It's very light. You see, it's got some flowery stuff on it. This one I actually made from an oven mitt that had all kinds of things for no slip grip, but I really liked the the thing. So you can take with bacon bend, because it is so soft, you can take because it's a clay, you can actually take prints from stuff that is not perfectly straight. And then, as I said, you can, if you do it, and maybe one day I'll do a tutorial, you can actually even make bacon bend textures that can be used for the satin slice, but you need to know how to make it. Okay, I think that my things there are done. And now we can make it copperish, because we said we are going to use the copper, right? And the fact that and that's the best thing to do if you have a little bit of a more greenish, whatchamacallit, scrap clay, it's the best for it, because then you don't have to worry about antiquing. Donc, ce que j'ai dit, c'est que si vous utilisez du bacon bend pour faire des tampons, ne passez pas les tampons déjà cuits et faits dans la pâte dans la machine à pâte, parce que ça va abîmer votre machine et le résultat ne va pas être bon. Donc, on va faire ceci en cuivre. And I have chosen the super copper because that's one of the best for achieving pretty copper color. and you will see, because my scrap is a grayish green, and as I said, it's the best if you have a more greenish scrap, so you don't have to worry about antiquing. Donc, si vous faites de la cuivre, c'est le meilleur de commencer avec une pâte beurre qui est un peu verdâtre, parce que si vous avez ça, donc vous n'aurez pas besoin de faire de l'oxydisation. So, donc this is the super copper de Perlex. So the other thing is that if you want, you can also texturize with a lot of care and attention the edge. But look at this as metal look goes. If the camera wants to focus. Come on, baby, come on. You can do it. I trust you. Here you go. See the look of metal? And you don't have to worry about antiquing in any way. And of course, you need to, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. You need to place a little bit on the sides as well. And let me grab the other one without losing the camera focus. But see, just those simple, like comb and little cutters will do the trick perfectly. So this will be our long earring. And the other thing that once you bake it, remember that you'll have to put varnish on it, because it's Perlex and it will rub off if you don't. And I will put, because it's not going to be enough time to fully finish them, I will just take photos of me finishing and post the photos on the Facebook page, so you can see exactly how I finished it. Now, let's move on to the next one. And as I said, that it's the best thing to use a little bit of support when you bake it. And stuff that I always have on hand are these little popsicle sticks that you can get like a bag of, I don't know, 50 at the dollar store. And you just place one under this side that's hanging up a little bit, because you have one thickness here. So when you bake it, place a little support under it. Donc, j'ai dit, quand vous le cuissez, mettez un peu de support sous cette porte de la boucle d'oreille qui est sans support, parce que vous avez la feuille ici de la rondelle. Ce que j'utilise, ce sont ces petits bouts de popsicle qu'on peut trouver dans les magasins à $1. Pour $1, pour vous acheter comme 50 ou 100, je ne sais pas exactement. Mais maintenant, allons faire les petites boucles d'oreilles. Et on ne va pas avoir assez de temps pour complètement finir, donc je vais prendre des photos et mettre l'entier processus de mettre les boucles d'oreilles, de les finir sur la page Facebook. But let's do this. So we already connected we made this part as a common element. Now what we need to do is to put a second common element that would connect this part, and again with some kind of metal looking like. So give me just a second because the oven dinged and I want to take that out so it can cool off so I can show you stuff. Okay, I got it here cooling off. All right, so the best thing to do, excuse me, the best thing to do would be to actually place some kind of strip that would make the whole thing exceptionally easy. So if we would get, again, some texture on this, so let me put this up. Let's use this side. So I'm going to use, again, the same stamp. Donc, ce que je vais faire une imitation d'une simple ligne de métal sur les rondelles des boucles d'oreilles courtes. Hi, Shirley. Glad you could make it. Okay, and now I'm going to just cut 2 strips. And I'm going to try and get this. And I actually want this again. I like the way that this end with the concentric circles looks like. So let me get it through the pasta machine again. So I'm going to do this, just focusing on the concentric circles that are here. And I'm going to cut a strip from this one too. Alrighty. Now remember what I said, that don't worry about this little part because we are going to cover it up with something. Because it was the fold of the... Where the heck is it? It just disappeared. Oh, it's right here on this one. Yes, the other one doesn't have it. Okay, so if we have it on this one, on the yellowish greenish part, let's put it on the same spot on this one as well. So all we have to do is to actually put a fake piece of metal, quote unquote, you know, just plain. You can place it like this, or you can do even a better thing you can make a little bit of a fake veil. And place it like this if you want. But make it looking like metal. And of course we need a little bit of bacon bond, of course. But we have a long earring and a short earring now. Goodness, this is almost empty. Not really. I don't know why it does that. Oh. Because this way you'll have the common element. Oops, not this side, this side. The common element of metal that you can find on the long earrings. Do you know each other? Okay, so, and they don't even need to be perfectly straight or anything, because remember, we are talking about metal strips. So all they have to do is to look like metal strips. One thing that you have to be always very, very careful about, and we'll have to go back on these ones because I forgot, and we really need to do that, is make sure that you enhance the sides. That is very important when you're trying to imitate metal, because a lot of people do the fronts, but then the sides are not done, and that doesn't look like metal anymore. Just looks like clay with mica powder on it. So make sure that you do the cut part edge. So it will look exactly like a cut strip of metal. Of course, it doesn't have to be all over the place, but especially the very, very edge here. Like if it were cut with, how you call them? The scissors that cut metal. Oh, that's nice. You still have, you're about half, barely past half, huh? You still have about 100 more to go. Who's teasing what? Let me catch up. Yes, I hadn't realized that I was out of frame, Colleen. I'm sorry. I was just bringing it under my nose so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so as I said here, there's one area where we did not, and why did I close this one? Because I shouldn't have. Where we did not put the copper, and we should have. It's this very edge that needs to be metallicized as well if you want it to look like real copper. So generally speaking, let me give you another tip on when you're antiquing and you try to do metal looking like stuff. You have to think about the way the metal naturally oxidizes. Okay, any area that will be in contact and will be permanently buffed, rubbed, like when you have buttons, the area where your fingers always touch it. When you have let's say a doorknob, is wherever the hands always touch it. So that will be the area that will have the shiny part of the metal. The recessed area, and they don't have to be necessarily the oxidized part doesn't necessarily have to be a recessed area. Even a surface area can be oxidized if it's not habitually touched by something. Donc, ce que j'ai dit, quand vous faites la faux oxydisation, ce que vous devez tenir compte, c'est que les surfaces sur lesquelles vous voyez le métal brillant seront les surfaces qui sont en permanent contact avec quelque chose, qui sont frottées à tout le temps. Même s'ils ne sont pas en dedans, même s'ils sont les surfaces d'un tampon, si c'est une surface qui n'est pas, une partie de la surface qui n'est pas en contact normal, tout le temps avec quelque chose qui le frotterait, il sera oxydé et pas brillant. Donc, c'est ce que vous devez tenir compte quand vous faites l'oxydisation d'un métal faux. So I don't know, did that make sense? Anyway, so these will be the two, and remember, with the new fashion, you would wear one of these and one of these together. So I will, after the live, I will bake these and put them together and take photos. But now let's see how our little stamp is doing. Because it is cool enough now. So let me get this to the pasta machine and use some release agent. Okay. I'm going to grab some silver too. I'm trying to find the silver, sorry. I have all kinds of stuff in here. Okay, I got the silver. So let's do the imprint. And again, don't let it be, always put the release agent on the clay. And I will put it on the acrylic block. Let me cut the extra. Oh, come on. And let's see how it looks like. So let's do the silver first. I'll do half of it on silver and half of it on copper so you can see both differences. I'm going to try and open this. Okay, so But of course, what I suggest when you're doing the silver is to use graphite pearl. That works the best as not having to use antiquing on it. But yeah, see, this is the silver look. And let's do the copper look. And let me grab the bronze and I'll do the middle part so you can see the super bronze. Okay, and the super bronze. And then I'll make sure that it focuses properly. Now, of course, you have to think that it's not the proper background clay. Get it to focus. Okay, there we go. So if you're going, and I'll give you the tips, I'm planning on doing soon another tutorial on how to patina various faux materials, because it's a different patina you do on ivory, it's a different patina you do on bone or on gemstones or on for gemstone carvings and metals and stuff on wood. But if you are, I'm gonna give you the tips on the best base to use with this type of stamp, so you don't have to worry about antiquing. So for silver, you use the graphite pearl. If you don't have graphite pearl, use half and half, actually not half and half, like 1/3 silver for 2/3 black mix, and you use that for silver. For bronze, you use you put about a quarter bright green pearl with about half jungle and a quarter graphite pearl. So jungle half, quarter bright green pearl, quarter graphite pearl. That would be for bronze, because the bronze oxidizes differently depending on the zinc content in it and other stuff. For the copper, the best is to use like half peacock pearl, a quarter bright green, and then you can use some cobalt blue, for example, or turquoise for the rest of the other quarter, but that would be the best to imitate copper. Generally speaking, copper and brass, they oxidize very bright blue or green, except for very, very old copper and very, very old bronze. As time passes, ancient objects that are like hundreds of years old, the patina on them is black. They kind of look the same. So, okay, this was it for today. And as I said, I promise I will post photos of me finishing those. And see, I was able to get over a little bit, and I was really good on the time without complaining. But I need to get those to bake. You've seen how to make these really cool. And see, the thing is that you don't use it. Another thing that I forgot to tell you, you don't use this kind of stamp for a big area. What you use it for is just for small, like I showed you, for small little metal accents. I mean, you don't use it for this whole like a texture. No, you use it for an accent thing. you know, like if you need to do a line like a bezel or a little inlay. See, this is what we are talking about, not a full texture sheet. This is what you use it for, not the full thing. Donc, ce que j'ai dit, c'est que vous n'utilisez pas ce tampon, tout le tampon. Ça, c'est seulement pour des accents en faux métal. Yes, you should. You should. And I saw that somebody had purchased for me the more bake and bend, and I fully intend to make some do-it-yourself textures sometime soon as a free tutorial. So, okay. Thank you so much. And I'm getting back because I'm anxious to finish the Navajo cane tutorial. And for tomorrow, we'll do a cuff with it. That will be like faux fabric. Okay. So I'll see you next Sunday. And please keep watching. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for being my subscribers. And don't forget, I'm waiting for your entries to the contest. Okay. Thank you so much and have a great Sunday, what's left of it. Goodbye.